Hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. Assalamu alaikum everyone. So finally the wait is over. I'm here, your host Tabinna Mumtaz. A quick introduction to everyone. This is Tabinna from Hyderabad, Pakistan. Basically, I belong from Hyderabad, and I moved to Italy in 2015, and I did my master's in computer science and engineering from Politecnico di Milano. As at present, I work for Vodafone as a cybersecurity expert. So, in today's program, we shall be discussing on growth and career opportunities for women, as gender equality and women empowerment is one of the most constant priority that should be taken into consideration. And we have to create the priorities and these strengths in order to let women know that what are their strengths and abilities. So we have to create opportunities for them. This will help them realize their potential and their capabilities. Women empowerment is important for every nation, for every country, for everywhere. So this is really one of the most important and the hot topic that should be taken into consideration. So in this program, in order to discuss this current and the hot topic, in order to discuss for this, I invite our beautiful guest, that is Rida, which is a multicultural and youth advocate. And then we have Komal, this is a PhD student from University of Oviedo. Rabia, she's master student from University of Salerno. And Falak Bawa, who is a brand expert entrepreneur. Welcome, beautiful ladies in our show. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you so much for inviting us, Tabinda.
Thank you very much. Assalamu
Hi
alaikum.
everyone.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
Thank you
salam.
so much for inviting us.
Thank you so much for joining our show. So I hope you are doing great. And before commencing to the actual topic, what I would like to understand is like, as you all are familiar, that we are having this COVID-19 pandemic situation. And even though we are having the Ramadan as well, happy Ramadan to all of you. And thank you. I would like to know how's going on the situation in this Ramadan and like in this COVID-19 situation, how's going on Ramadan. So I will move first of all to Komal. Can you describe me that how's your, like this is first Ramadan with this situation. So how you are feeling with this pandemic time?
I think we all share the same feeling. As the Ramadan, and also we are abroad and without family, it's really hard. But as this virtual system has given us an ability to connect to the people via online sources, so you can
Yeah.
like feel comfort in some way. So I think this is a very challenging situation for us because we are working as well as we are having other responsibilities, like we are fasting and we are observing our prayers and other things. So
Mhm.
it's a tough challenge. But anyhow, I think till now we have done so far we have done a good job, and I think we will continue with that. And we hope that this will end soon. So sooner or later it will be gone, and we will be on the uh, daily other routine as well. Start our other daily routines.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine, but at least we are at home, so we are at much better position, I think. During the Ramadan is better, I think.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you. Thank you, Komal. So now I move to Rida. Can you please let me know that how's Ramadan going on in this period with this situation?
It's extremely, yeah, sure. It's extremely cold in Australia, so Ramadan here is extremely cold. Plus it's been raining for the last 5 days in Melbourne. Melbourne is like Seattle. It just rains and rains. Also, I think my mama, she put out some frozen meat outside in a plastic container, and like all the magpies, they just took the container as well. So, yeah, it's been going all right.
It's good. Yeah. Thank you, Rida. So let's move to Rabia. If you can
Uh,
describe me how's going on the
yeah, yeah.
situation.
It's really good here. Actually, in Ramadan, I'm getting time for ibadah, basically, for worship.
Yeah.
So it's really good for me here. But sometimes it's been difficult as being without family
Yeah.
would be challenging sometimes. But overall, we just hope for better situation and better time, inshallah.
Inshallah, inshallah. Thank you, Rabia. So now last would be the Falak. Can you please explain me how's going on? Falak, it's mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, so Ramzan in this time of the year is also, even when the pandemic situation is here, it's still the same. We are having the festivity, we are observing fast,
Yeah.
and it's actually better this time because we're getting more time to worship, as Rabia said. So yeah, it's better this year. I would say that we're getting more time this year.
Especially when you are working or you are studying, so you are getting a better time at home instead of
Yeah,
transporting,
we
like
are
going
working
from one
from
place.
home, so we have time to spend with family. We can cook and we can, do iftar together. We don't have to be at work.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So now we move to our exactly to the topic because this was really as far as what I wanted to understand that how's going on with the situation because personally I'm also working and parallelly doing ibadah and also this COVID-19, but staying at home is I think it's better. So let's move to the actual topic for which we have you guys have joined me for the session. So I would like to let's start with Rida. Can you please describe your career snapshot, the journey you have gone through, including the hardships or struggles, hurdles during that journey, like until the state where you are now? So I would like to understand that which are the problems you have faced, how was your career journey? Maybe it was very good, your parents or family was supportive, or maybe you have seen a lot of problems during that. So I would like to understand the journey. How was it, and how where you are now, how you suffered that?
Right. I think thank you to the Pakistan Student Association Italia, first of all, for inviting me here. Happy Ramadan to all of you. I think I'll keep the answer quite brief. I think it's very different when you have born and bred in the West. I started my career when I was 16. I think my first job was at a supermarket store. And no, sorry, that was not my first job. My first job was a pizza delivery girl. Yes, that's right. That's what I used to do back in school. So that's when I started my career. So unlike other Pakistani kids, they finish school, finish college, finish university, then they get their first job. I actually started my job in high school. And yeah, from pizza delivery girl to supermarket to coming on radio to then writing and then coming to Melbourne. So it was pretty crazy. But I've been living by myself since I was 16. So now I'm 26. So it's been 10 years.
Wow.
And so for a lot of like other Pakistan, like when other Pakistani girls, they ask me, they're like, oh, how did you get permission or ijazat from your parents from for living by yourself? I'm like, what are you talking about? Matlab, you don't need permission. And I come from a very strong Baloch family as well, so it shocks them even more, because they're like, how can a tribal family let you go? And I'm like, because if my baba is Baloch, then I'm even more Baloch. Like, if he is stubborn, I'm 100 times more stubborn. So I got what I wanted, started my career, and 10 years later, here I am, being an advisor to the Multicultural Affairs Minister. I'm a qualified aged care nurse, and I'm doing and do a lot of social work and youth work as well. So that's my field. I love it. And now, seriously, by now, I have done documentary, radio, anything and everything I wanted to do, I've already done it. So if someone comes up to me now and says like, oh, is there any career goals you have? I'm like, yeah, not many actually, because I've already achieved a lot of them because I started very young. But that is obviously very different to many other young people in Pakistan and abroad, who don't start career until after university.
Yeah, I agree. And I can see that you have a lot of diversity in your career because you have done a lot of youth programs, a lot of other stuff, So that really matters that you have been into the radio, and that's really inspiring because you don't have only one career, but you have been into different aspects. So tomorrow you can be put in any of the position, and that's really cool because I really feel glad on you that you have such a diversity in your profile, and this really matters a lot. And the most important thing is like you are strong, you are ambitious. That's the thing which keeps you moving forward. That's the point you have to go through. So do you think that you have a lot of support from your parents also during this journey or not?
Depending on the career, really. I think that because there is our parents' generation comes from a very different perspective regarding employment. For example, there are 10 jobs that I always say will always be around, like teaching, doctor, nurses, construction workers, plumbers, mechanics, army, police, prison officers. These kind of jobs will always be there, and that's what majority of Australian culture follows. We are we are labor community. We always need farmers, so we want to make sure that the jobs that are created are community services jobs, and they are always going to be around. So my parents, being scientists, they're both scientists, and they were like, oh, maybe I'll end up in science. My brother went into the army. He didn't go to science. That is the Australian Army. I ended up being a nurse, which was like a shock to them. It's like, what? Like, it's still science. And when I left, and they were like, what? Why would you leave that? And I left that to become a social worker. And nobody in my family really understands what I really do. My relatives still don't think I do anything. They're like, she's always coming online and she's always coming on TV.
Oh my God.
We don't know what she actually does. They don't really understand social justice or the justice system. They don't really understand what I do because I'm in multicultural affairs. So my sister, she's hoping to do IT, and my other brother, like he wanted to be a YouTuber. So it's like, so again, two professors in the family, and yet none of their kids chose the field that they are into, which is very unlike the Pakistani family system, where doctors have doctor kids and engineers have engineer kids. So very, very different.
This is really exactly the same mentality in Pakistan until now. Like, my father is a doctor, so everyone wanted us like, okay, why you are an engineer? Why your sister is a chartered accountant? Why they are this? Why they are that? Okay, come on, live your life, because we are interested in the field of engineering. Okay, that's fine, because you have to pursue the field which you feel yourself like that's better for you. You cannot go, okay, I myself, like, I'm scared from the injection, so I cannot move for the field of the medicine, and tomorrow I'm going to treat the patients, and I myself, like, I'm not I know that I'm really scared of these things. So I think you have to pursue ambitions, what you think yourself like are good for you, and that's a way like, you can grow in your career. And one thing more I would like to ask you, because what do you think, like, because in your communication I just noticed one of the thing that do you think, like, in abroad, like you are living in Melbourne, okay, so you think that abroad is important to have the master's degree or maybe bachelor degree to find the work? Or you feel like a lot of people, like in Pakistan, we feel this thing that many people, they have the like master and university degree, okay, like bachelor or whatever, so they go for the job after finishing their degrees, okay. But what I have seen, like, I have I'm living in Italy as well. So what do you think, that is it important to have the degree for the, for your job opportunities or not? What do you think?
Not at all. Absolutely, like I absolutely don't think that. I think what we need to really realize is the current economic situation is very different from how it used to be from our parents and grandparents generations. So the more skills you have under your belt, the more equipped you will be able to survive in this world. This is why people like me or my brother, we have so many skills. Like, I think one of my cousins in South Australia, he's a truck driver and he's a plumber, and he can do transportation, he can do so many things. So
Yeah.
and also remember that, like, certain countries just do not want highly qualified people. Australia is one of them. We don't want highly qualified people. We just want someone who can, just do the labor job, because it's a country 19 times bigger than Pakistan, with only 25 million people, whereas Pakistan has 220 million people, and it's just like a tiny country. So we actually
Yeah.
need labor, we need workforce to do physical hard work, and that's mostly why you have professions like aged care, child care, which you don't go for. You, like, to become a police officer, child care, aged care, you don't go to university, you go to a TAFE, which is a technical college,
Yeah.
and you get like trained there. So we are encouraging more and more young people to kind of try to look at the job market of this country and then kind of study. A lot of the masters and accounts and ITs are just doing Uber here. Like, they're actually not they have, this is their only job. And I'm telling, I receive so many proposals of the Uber guys, and I'm like, no thanks,
No
because this is
thanks.
not where I go.
I'm sorry.
I'm not interested. I would rather marry a plumber or a mechanic than marrying an Uber driver with an accountant degree. Like, please no.
No, of course, but to me, honestly, this thing is really weird. That what's the reason of doing the degree? If you are doing the degree, to me, honestly, it's important. My perception for this is completely different. Degree is really important to pursue for your, job opportunities and all. Like right now, you can see the situation in COVID-19. Maybe the other, other profession like this labor work is stopped, but the person who are working from home, whose work is like online, so they can do online work, so they are earning until now. But the people who are working in factories and all those things, I think for them is really hard to survive now.
No, not really. Actually, everyone's working. Everyone who actually who is in labor jobs actually still have jobs, because the government did not stop the transport or the healthcare, aged care, or plumbing,
Mhm.
mechanics. All of those services are actually still open in Australia. So our
Okay.
services are actually, yeah, they did
It
not like
depends
stop
on
them.
country to country. Yeah, it depends on country to country. I don't know about
Yes.
here. I think for a few of the days it was closed, but of course, when the pandemic situation is so high, so they have to ultimately close it if everything is locked down. So obviously, you have to make this thing. Anyways, it was really nice to hear about your career snapshot, and that's really inspiring to me. And I hope to have a better future ahead also to you. And thanks for answering all of my queries. Okay, Rida? And now I move to Komal. Komal, can you please also describe your career snapshot?
Yes, sure. I had a very tough career actually. After going through many failures and rejections, I came to this position, that is, I'm doing PhD in Spain. Um, so my story started from a very early age. I started giving home tuitions and also online Quran classes.
Yeah.
I think since the eighth grade since eighth grade I started doing so, collecting some money and like saving them to have to gain some higher education. So I got selected in Air University. It's a very expensive university in Islamabad. I wanted to pursue an engineering degree. For that, what I did was, like, as I told you, that from the very early age I started giving online classes and all that to financially support my family and also to save money for my better education. In all that hard time, my mother, my father, they both were very supportive. For example, my mother, she's a very open-minded woman, and she always supported me in not doing home chores. Instead, do focus on your studies. I just want you to become highly educated, and in the meantime you will learn how to cook and all those things. So she never pushed me into the kitchen only, but she just wanted us to study. So that's what I did. uh, in the morning, I used to go in the university, and in the evening, I used to give online classes to save some money. So, after 1 year struggle in the university, I managed to pay the fees that was really expensive. I applied for the HEC merit scholarship, and I fortunately I received that scholarship. So throughout my bachelor's, my studies was funded, and I used to get extra money pocket money for my other expenses. So it was a good opportunity for me to excel in this field, in my to focus on my studies and excel in this engineering field. I completed my electrical engineering from Air University. I did my bachelor's. After then, another phase, another trial started of my life. It was like finding the good job. As you did, I spent a lot of, I worked very hard, and I studied hard during my bachelor's, and I scored really, I was in the top four students of the batch. Even then, it was a very hard task to find the relevant job in the Pakistan, especially in the electrical field, because there is much saturation. So
Yeah.
I have to come across a lot of hurdles, a lot of barriers, um, to get my degree related job. But anyhow, I found a job in a financial sector, and it was related to project management. As I knew that our financial situation was not good, so I wanted to not stay at home and just wait for the right option. So I just started doing the job in the financial sector. So I completed my. I spent like 1 or 2 years in that institute, but the growth was really hard. The culture in the country is not good, especially in for example, in official in professional environment, you really need a high power, or you need some support, references to grow in some in the field, or in your career. So it was very hard to get promoted in your field. Anyhow, I didn't lose hope. I was keep on trying. Since I was in the doing another not relevant job, but I kept on applying for other things. For example, I wanted to continue my masters. I wanted to go. I wanted to go abroad because I got a very good degree, and with a good merit position. So I wanted apply for these opportunities. So I was applying, but obviously you cannot reach to a position until you go through a lot of trials and hardships to achieve something higher. So I applied to many scholarships. I was rejected. I was really disheartened first, because I was trying my best to continue my studies instead, because it was taking a long time. I didn't want to had a gap between my studies, because you lose your tempo. So I after 2 years, Alhamdulillah, I was selected in Erasmus Mundus uh, joint degree program, and then it was also challenging, because I was selected, but it was in the reserve list. So I waited for my turn to be on the main list, but I couldn't, and I didn't want to even waste one more day to change
Yeah.
go into my field. So
Okay.
anyhow, I found an opportunity. It was a Nest program, the initiative of Ministry of sorry, I just forgot
No,
what the
that's
name.
fine. That's fine. No
Yes.
problem. So
So
finally, you are at the good
yes, yes.
position. I can see you are doing a PhD. So that's really, that's really a good achievement as a Pakistani woman. I can see.
So
Thanks.
I received that
Mm-hmm.
opportunity, and they supported me to go abroad and complete
Okay.
your masters.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, I was still struggling to at least get another opportunity so that I can fund myself. I can be at a better position. So I was looking for other scholarships there. So after finishing my third semester, I had to select a thesis project, and we had a opportunity. We had some funded internships as well.
Okay.
So I did my summer school project, and I really did it well. And one of our professors really liked my work, and he
Mm-hmm.
noticed my interest in the field of Internet of Things. So I displayed I tried to express my interest to him, that I want to continue in the same field, and I want to do a internship. And he was really happy, and he told me that okay, we will fund you. So it was a very good opportunity for me that I got a funded internship. And after completing that during that internship, he also offered me the PhD position.
Wow,
So
that's inspiring.
yes. So since the beginning, we applied for two scholarship positions. One from the Germany, funding from a company based in Germany, and one from the government of Spain. So Alhamdulillah, I got selected in both of them. So I got two
Okay.
scholarship positions. But and then I continued my PhD here in University of Oviedo, Spain. So
That's really cool.
I wanted to tell the youth who's watching me that if there will be a lot of rejections and failures, but never lose hope that what you really want, just keep on struggling. Never sit back and just say, okay, now I think this is now not my field. Because I really worked really I really worked hard in engineering to
Mhm.
my degree, and I had a very good merit position. So why don't I pursue the same field and do the same work for which I studied a lot. So um, anyway, because it was a gap of I couldn't find a good opportunity in Pakistan, so I had to choose another option. But even then, that thing was a blessing for me, because in if you go into the professional environment, you have a lot of for you lot of professional skills. You will learn a lot of professional skills. So it was like my grooming in for example, you have confidence to deal with a lot of diverse nature people, and you can collaborate with them. You will have a lot of
Mentor
other.
are different people, exactly, with different nationalities you meet, and it's really important to let you
So
grow. Yeah.
exactly, so a lot
Thanks.
of thank
Thanks,
you.
Komal. Thank you, Komal. So now I move to Falak Bawa to explain me that about her career snapshot, that how it was for you. Was it difficult? Were there any hurdles, problems to reach the stage where you are now? Can you
Okay,
explain?
so yeah, I'll try to keep it very brief. So the first hurdle that always comes for a woman is it comes from the family. So I am the third child, and both of my brothers, elder brothers, are doctors. So the first hurdle, the first consequence that I had to face was I had to fight for my career choice. So I wanted to be an advertiser. I wanted to go into marketing, and that's one field that nobody did in my entire family, not in my paternal or maternal family. Nobody did that. So first, I had to fight for that. That there's a different career choice that I want to make for myself. I don't want to become a nurse. I don't want to become anything related to science. Although I like science, but I like advertising more. I didn't want myself to become a doctor because I had seen my brothers sacrificing their lives and their family because of their duties. So I wanted me to become something that it's more of my interest and that I can spend time at home as well. So that was the first hurdle, you could say, or the beginning was a little shaky, a little difficult for me. But then later on, I still remember it was the last day of admission of my university, and I just applied through online application. I just sent that thing, and I asked them if I could pay the fees later on, day later, because it was already the day was already ended, and it was 6 years back, I believe, and banks were all closed. So it was like right on the decision just came there, and I decided that okay, I'm gonna be an advertiser, and I'll go into film and TV or something related to media, not something from science background. So I started from that, and then moving to my job, and how did I manage to have a career in this field. So if you know about Pakistan and if you know the culture of Karachi, it's
Yeah.
not something that we actually presume. If you have the courage, if you have the confidence, and if you know that you can do it, you'll ace it. Okay? You'll have opportunities. It's not something that people will not give you opportunities. It's how you take it and then you perform it. So I would say that it wasn't so hard for me to build my career because I was passionate for it. I actually fought for it. So because it was something that I wanted for myself, I did well. And I started working when I was in my second semester of university, first year of university, since at the age of 18, 19. And later on, I'm still working at the age of 25. So it's been 6 years that I'm working in this field. And
Yeah.
of course, this field has given me a lot of respect, a lot of acquisition, many things that I have even traveled because of my work. So all that I faced literally was a few problems that is actually only exists in Pakistan is a commute. That is one difficult thing that we women face is commute. Other is a little bit of gender equality that we don't get. But overall, I believe that my career and my the choice that
Yeah.
I made really helped me in becoming what I am today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really important, Falak, because otherwise, if you don't follow your ambition, pity. Anyways, thanks a lot for your answering to my query. And now I move to Rabia. If you can tell me about your career
Uh, yeah, I will. First of all, I would like to thank you, PSA Italy, for giving me opportunity to speak up in front of such empowered women. Uh, and now I will make it brief. Actually, I was passionate about engineering from early stage of my life. That's why I have done my undergraduate in biomedical engineering from NED University of Engineering and Technology, Pakistan.
Yeah.
And then I was really passionate about continuing my studies in abroad. And it was my dream to go to Europe or UK for my higher studies, as I really wanted to become a research scientist in my desired field. That's why I choose masters in digital health and bioinformatic engineering from University of Salerno. My undergraduate was a really good and adventurous journey for me because I just loved engineering. That's why that's the reason I was in the top 5 of my batch. And after that, I have started my career as freelance writer, and I'm doing freelancing from more than 4 years.
That's cool.
uh, and it makes my thinking really broad, as I need to work in different domains, not related to engineering, but also related to psychology, philosophy, and many other domains I have learned during that. And when I was applying for the, and it was also my dream to get a scholarship for studying abroad. uh, that that was quite struggling, because I had applied for more than 30 scholarships, and in two or three I was selected. There were a lot of rejections, and that make me hopeless. But I want to tell you that you must never lose your hope, because rejections are part of life, failures are part of life. We don't need to get hopeless or disheart over that. We need to, if we want to be in a position, in a certain position, so we need to struggle, continuous struggle.
Of course,
uh,
every rejection will bring you closer to the acceptance. So we have to
yeah.
believe in this, proverb.
And the one main thing that plays an important role in my career, in achieving my career objectives, was my father and my family. My family is quite supportive with me throughout my every choice. My father has never allowed me to do household chores and something like that, that typical girl is expected to do in Pakistan. My father has always make me free to make choices. I have done a lot of different courses and everything that I want to do. He never
Yeah,
stopped me to do in everything and anything.
that will be our
So
next topic. I will be discussing on this. That is the Pakistani community is the barrier for your education and all.
yeah,
But right now, for your career snapshot, thanks a lot, Rabia, for telling us about your story and the limelight. Okay.
you're welcome.
Thanks a lot. So now I move to the next question. That is our being a woman. What is our point of view of being financial independent? Okay. So I will start with Rida. Can you please let me know that what's your point of view of being a financially independent, and what you can say that being financially independent, what it makes you feel, and what it differs from the society to society? How you will feel being a financially independent woman?
Sure. I hate being financially independent. I totally, absolutely hate it. You have to pay your bills, you have to pay your mortgage, you have to pay your loan, you're responsible for taking care of everyone. I hate being financially independent. I did not realize that once you become an adult, you have to do these things. You know, when you're a kid, you kind of start dreaming about, oh, I'll get up, I'll go shopping. The truth is, the only shopping you do is your grocery shopping. That is just, make sure there is enough food, because if you don't buy food, there won't be any food in the fridge. If you don't buy your undergarments, you're going to have all the ripped undergarments. Like, seriously, financial independence sucks, bro. Like, don't even like desire it. It sucks. Life is much better when you're living with your mom and dad and they have to pay for everything and worry about finances. Life is much better under that. But just to kind of show a different perspective, I think there's three ways of
Yeah.
when it comes down to finances. We talk about three different things. We talk about financial dependence, we talk about financial independence, and financial interdependence. So what I love and would hope that one day when I do get a partner, I'll end up being financially interdependent. So some of what I earn and some of what he earns, we can, plan holidays together and we can actually go somewhere together. So I love the idea of financial interdependence, and that's something very common in the tribal communities. For example, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, in the Pakhtun community, what they do is a certain percentage of your earning goes into a mutual bank account that is reserved for education of other young people in your family. So I love that financial interdependence and the concept that we have in tribal systems, that something like what Pakistani aunties does, like the committee dalna type. Like, I love that, dude. That's great. I love that stuff. One of the worst things about growing up abroad is you never get to do the committee thing. Like, I
Yeah.
also know there has been frauds with people, so that's really scary. But overall, I think that financial independence also brings up with a lot of financial stress and difficulty, which I don't think young people are prepared for. So I've been living by myself for ages, for 10 years. I manage my finances, but I did not really enjoy it. It's really not all that glamorous. Don't, you really should be if you're dependent financially on someone, enjoy it while it lasts, because
Yeah,
the
I think
minute you
so.
get off,
Yeah, I do
after
agree,
that,
because
when you have to earn your own money.
then when you are spending your money, then you realize when your parents are spending the money, then you don't realize that, okay, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy the whole world. But when you are earning, then you realize,
Exactly.
okay, today I will buy this, tomorrow I will buy that. No, that's really true. But I think it's really important to be financially independent. Even after marriage, this is one of the very important things. It makes the woman stronger also. and for your family, for your life after, even after marriage, it's really important that you are financially independent. But obviously after marriage, it's the responsibility of a man to take care of a woman. So even if you are not earning, it's not a problem, but you must be stronger enough. I think it makes a woman stronger if you are having your own money, you are earning, you are having a job or something like that. So I totally agree with you. I agree with you, but
Yeah,
when
definitely.
you're dependent on family, yeah, tell me.
That's right. I mean, one thing that I understand is that, when I do my work, I'm not doing it to earn money. I'm doing it because it's my passion. And I
Yeah,
think that's another. A lot of young people choose professions which they think will have a lot of money. I chose social work. It has literally like no money, but I love my job. It makes me happy. I come home feeling satisfied, and I think I would choose this job any day over an IT person or an accountant or an engineer, because I love my job. So I'm just saying that, if you're doing work that you love, then you don't feel like that you're doing it for money, or for other reasons. So it's really
yeah,
important that you choose your field, which has some survival benefits, but it's not
yeah,
purely dependent on you trying to earn money.
yeah,
So
exactly.
anyhow, good luck. If you That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. If you're dependent, enjoy it while it lasts. Otherwise, yeah, being financial independence means that you have to give Eid to your younger brother and sister. Like
yeah.
this Eid, I have had to buy clothes from my mom and my sister. Like, I mean, oh, Rida, you want money, you have to pay for us. Like, why?
No, no, no. You
Why?
have to spend
So yeah,
everywhere.
no.
When you are financially independent, you have to
That's
spend
right.
everywhere.
They loot you, man. You're completely looted. You're completely and utterly looted. Like,
And the
everyone. You go to
expectations are
Pakistan,
higher
you have to
also.
give.
And
Exactly. Everyone
expectations are
expects their
higher.
money. Like, oh, you earn on your own. You can pay for yourself. It's like, come on. I like easy here.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Now I move to Falak. Can you please let me know also what's your experience about this being a financially independent?
Yeah, first of all, I loved how Rida responded to your question, and she was very realistic. And that's actually what I believe too, that being financially independent is a burden, but at the same time, it gives you that freedom that anything else will not give you. Until and unless that you are financially independent, you'll always be under someone's pressure. Even especially if you're living in Pakistan, so your family might pressurize you, but if you have your own money, you can spend on yourself. You can take your own decisions. So that's actually when the triangle, when the position shifts, and you have your own decisions in your own hand. So I'll just share a experience with you that I was fine. I started earning at a very very early age, so I could take my own decision that where I want to go, who to talk to, anything. So it's very basic, but it brings a lot of freedom to you. So for women in
Yeah,
our society, one thing that holds their freedom, their selves, is that they depend on their men to feed them or to bring money to home. I think that if it's even if it's interdependency that Rida talked about, that also works fine. But one thing for all is that you have to be in a state that wherever it's needed, you can go out and earn. So take education, be yourself, have that confidence that whenever it's needed, you can go out and you can earn. So
yeah.
that brings financial independence, and that's very important for women these days.
Yeah, exactly. I do agree because even though you are responsibility of a man, you are responsibility of your family, but it's really important if you are earning yourself. That makes okay. You are not spending anywhere else, but you are spending on yourself. So this is really important. So thanks a
Yeah.
lot, Falak. Now I move to Komal. Uh, Komal, I would like to understand your point of view for this topic of being financially independent.
Yeah, I have experienced it. Being financial independent, it was not a choice, it was required for me. So from my experience, I would say that it's really a big burden on yourself. And anyhow, there is something positive related to it and something negative also. That one thing that you have to suffer all the way yourself by yourself. The second thing, it trains you. You can be a master to live on your own. So in the cases, in some cases, like if you have some problems in your if you're in a relationship with your partner, if you have any financial problems, you know that those skills, life skills, and you can use it, and you can obviously support them. But for me, being financial independence is good for the cases when it is required, but not necessarily, because the main responsibility is on your partner. So
Exactly.
you need to prioritize your responsibilities. Being financially independent should be the least priority as compared to the responsibilities which you have been assigned with your relationship, especially to focus on your kids and other responsibility to manage your home and other economics things. So for me, being financially independent, it should not be considered as a vital part of your life, but should be when it is required, you should be ready. So you should have that experience and those skills that you, whenever it's required, you are ready to face it. So for me, I think it's a burden of you will have to suffer. You'll have to suffer.
No, I do agree. I do agree with
Um,
you, Komal, that whenever you need it, you must have those skill sets. Whenever you need it, you can use it. You can
yeah,
use it
but
and be financially independent.
yes, but never underestimate yourself. If you want to really go into the field, work, and do follow your passion, follow it, but not thinking that I want to be a financially independent. But thinking that I am polishing and furnishing myself to be a better person, and because the need of the time today is that everyone should have those life skills. Even women, men, they both should equally participate in the society whenever they are needed. So we should also have some those professional skills.
Thanks, Komal. Thanks a lot. Now we move to Rabia to hear her point of view about the financial independency.
Uh, I've never been through financial burden throughout my career, obviously because of my father. But I think financial independency is really important for both males and females, because it makes you stronger, and it gives you confidence. And the most important thing it gives you is decision making. When you are financially independent, you can make your decisions, and you can make your choices.
Okay.
I also don't agree with the totally dependent on man, either husband or father, for all your expenses. But I do believe in interdependency, basically. That we can both manage everything. It's not only solely responsibility of a man to bear all your expenses and everything. I think we need to cooperate with him for everything.
Exactly. Exactly. Thanks, Rabia, for your point of view. Now,
Welcome.
as we are seeing, I will move to the next question. So as we are seeing that a lot of people, as I'm hearing, that there is a barrier in the career and the growth opportunities. Who was the responsible? Maybe the society, maybe the relatives, maybe something in Pakistan, as we are hearing every story for every woman or something like that. So what I would like to do is now I would like to hear the point of view that what do you think that Pakistani society is a barrier in women empowerment, career, and the growth opportunities? And who is responsible for that? Maybe it can be differ from one person to another. So I would like to start with Rida. Rida, if you can let me know that do you think that it's really true or not?
So the question is that, so what's the question again?
The question is like, do you think that the Pakistani society is a barrier in a woman empowerment for the women in Pakistan? or maybe relatives. I just conclude it like with the society. You can take any person in the society.
So I guess
Maybe
what
your
you're saying is that
family, maybe your
are we?
relatives. It can be family, it can be
Sorry, it's just
relatives,
that
anyone.
your voice is cutting. Sorry, your voice is cutting, so I can't really understand. I also hear Rabia because her mic was off. So yeah, okay. So I think what I've understood is that there is something to do with women in Pakistan versus abroad, and whether the society kind of supports that. Now let me see if I can see it in the chat. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Oh, also, I was going to say, financial independence also makes you fat, because you keep
Yeah.
eating junk food because you think you have to
Yeah, my actually question would be
you have
like,
to
do you
keep
think
on
that
feeding yourself. Okay.
Pakistani community or the society is responsible for the women for not having the, for having the barrier in the career and the growth opportunities? What do you think?
Right. So, is Pakistani society, Mashra, are they getting in between your love? No and yes, yes and no, because I think that society makes up of different people
Yeah.
from different backgrounds, different value system. So Pakistani society in general, depending on where you are on the class, or which tribe and which language and which geographical location you have, it really depends. Some families in Pakistan are extremely supportive of their daughters. For example, in my family, girls are more educated than boys, or boys that they all ever do, we call them hunters and gatherers, because all they ever do is shikar. They just go out to the river and they just end up doing
Yeah.
hunting like different birds and stuff. So our girls are more educated than boys, and therefore they got married to guys that are also very educated. On the other hand, we see other for example, barriers in Pakistani society per se. For example, geographically speaking, like Balochistan is one of the most deprived province of Pakistan in terms of opportunities for everybody, men and women. And therefore it gets very difficult to actually have opportunities when you don't have electricity or internet. People are like, oh, people in Balochistan should do online courses, and you're like, well, they can't because they don't have electricity and and all that. So it's very like, but if you live in Karachi or if you live in Islamabad, like life is amazing in terms of access to services or basic needs of your society. So that really depends, but in generally speaking, I think that I would certainly think that tribal people have always supported me and women in my community. It's actually the non-tribal people of Pakistan that we often have a difficulty with. For example, there's a lot of bullying that we experience from non-tribal women because they somehow think that they are better off than tribal folks. We often
Yeah.
see women in Pakistan not supporting tribal women, but belittling them. For example, on feminist forms or Aurat March, they don't invite tribal women from Sindh, Balochistan, KPK. They just kind of represent their own folks. And they're usually like, to us they are pretty liberated. To in our perception, they're like, dude, they're wearing jeans, oh my god, they're allowed to do that. It's like and then
Yeah.
there's like some Pashtun, and then there's some Pakhtun girl in Peshawar. She's like, dude, I have to wear jeans under my burqa. I can't really do that. Like, so we actually feel like they have so much more liberation than us. But I feel like they complain the most compared to us.
Yeah.
So I think our expectation from society is different and probably much lower than the expectation they have. So I guess that's probably why I don't think society really gets in the way. I think it's more so other women get in the way of success of other women. So someone could get really jealous of Rida and like not support me, or someone could get really jealous of Tabinda and not support her. But really,
Yeah.
we should always realize that the more empowered our Pakistani are, men and women, the more it is better for all of us. Because if
For
we
the whole
have you
country.
guys
Yeah.
on boards,
No, I do
exactly.
agree with
So
you.
what I often find is that, for example, in Australia, there's lots of advisory boards, but there's a lot of Indians and Chinese there, but there's not Pakistanis there. So it gets very difficult for people like me to make our way through those advisory boards and committees and get ourselves heard, because they always believe whatever the majority says, is what the votes get. But what if the majority is always white, or majority is always Indian, majority is always Chinese? What happens then? Then you don't get
Yeah.
heard. Pakistanis don't get heard. Bangladeshis don't get heard. So yeah, I think
No.
women need to support others.
And also, I think it depends on, it varies from, it depends on society to society. It depends on family background to family background. Like in my family also, I have seen that women are more educated than even men. And they are going abroad, they are doing their jobs, they are, struggling hard. Even men are also doing the same, but the priority to the woman is given more. So I think this is really good. And now, thanks a lot, Rida. Now I move to Falak for the same question about her point of view, that what she thinks that is actually a barrier in the society or not.
Yeah, so I believe that society comes second and first comes your family. So your family may react and may act differently from the society. I'll give you my example. My family
Mhm.
belongs to so we are educated. Obviously, education makes a big difference, but sometimes
Yeah,
कहते हैं ना, पढ़े लिखे जाहिल also exists. So
yeah,
the first role comes from the family, and then the
mm,
society comes in. So
yeah,
there's a perspective for people of people living abroad that Pakistani society is very deprived, they are narrow-minded and things like that. But it depends on the area, geographical area, as Rida mentioned. Also, it also depends that from which community or which set of background you're coming from. So if you're from a religious, very very religious, because I believe that the Pakistani take religion as something too serious for every matter of a life. Also, religion is the way of conduct of life, but we apply it in a fanatic kind of way, living over here. So when we go abroad, Bohi religion becomes a little light on us, and then we go and perform ourselves. So that depends on if religiously you are taking things on very hard on yourself. Other than that, the society is not very against the woman, especially living in Karachi. There are opportunities for women. There are positions that are actually hiring women.
mhm.
But still, again, there's a lot of work to do in this sector for equality, because women are paid less, and that's a fact. And they are not giving so much opportunities. But on the same hand, things are changing. It's not the same as of 20 years back. People are now giving opportunities to women. So obviously, this the second point that I would make is that if women start understanding and supporting other women, then only the other gender will respect us and will give us opportunities. So I've seen and I've heard many stories that women are against women, and वो कहते हैं ना कि एक औरत ही दूसरे औरत का घर खराब करती है. So in the same way, when you talk about career, when you talk about other aspects, there's jealousy that comes in the same gender, that makes it that pulls you down. So so that's not only society, that's also a same gender part of that society that's against us. So it's an individual's way of conduct, and then how they believe that we should support our gender as well as anybody who is on merit and who has that thing in them.
I do agree, because we should not be jealous of each other. We should support each other, and this is the way we are going to make our country prosper. If we are not going to support each other, there is no. Even we have seen the same problem in Italy. We faced after the PSA Italy, and now we are united and even more to
Binda,
come.
I believe again I'm repeating my point that this common perspective exists, that Pakistan is lag behind, it's way behind, but it's not the same Pakistan that it was before in terms of job opportunities and in terms of education opportunities. So there are many universities. Maybe I'm not aware of those tribal areas or some areas of other underdeveloped areas. But when you talk about metro cities, when you talk about urban cities, there are equal
Yeah,
opportunities for men and women.
yeah, exactly. I do agree, and I hope we are not going to be those women who support each other instead of being jealous.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we move to Komal. Uh, Komal, can you please let me know about your perspective, point of view for considering that
Uh,
Pakistan is a barrier in the women empowerment career and education?
the trend is changing, and as I brought up in Islamabad, I didn't saw much difference in the opportunity. Like the girls are now being women, girls, they are now being given a lot of opportunities, especially special quota for system for the girls to come into to the field and work. And especially if you see that it exists in those areas where the people, they have like backward thinking or the lack of education. There might be some that who are you call pada likha jahil, but they're most of them, the reason behind this is that you have a mentality of being like they don't need it, they just go and just do shadi and continue their family. So it's something, there is no difference, no sorry to say, I didn't experience much, so I could not like express in a good way that what are the challenges that woman faces in this aspect. For me, I saw that all my friends, all my cousins, and all females I have known, they all struggled, and they were like given the opportunities, they worked, they excelled, and like going face to face with the men in they're doing good jobs in their fields.
Okay. Okay, perfect. I
For me, I will agree with the points mentioned by the Rida and Falak. That what are the constraints and what challenges the women face. I totally agree with them. But in the big cities like in Islamabad and in Karachi, Lahore. Now the girls you see, they're like lots of their scale in engineering is increasing, and there a lot of participation in many different fields. You'll see an
Yeah.
obvious changing and increasing trend of women participation in society.
Yeah, I do agree because it depends on from society. Also, it depends on area to area, in which area you are
Exactly.
living. So, of
Yes.
course, Islamabad, Karachi, and they are the most, So, the women are more entering into the engineering and all those fields. Thanks a lot, Komal. And now I will move to Rabia to hear her point of view about the barrier in the career and the growth opportunities for women in
uh,
Pakistan.
Somehow society can interrupt in your career, but if I agree with Falak, if your family is supportive, then you would not need to listen those we call them pada likha jahil. When I was moving to abroad, I've also heard the comments, oh my god, you are sending your girl to abroad. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I don't think it's something weird in it. My father told them that yes, she's going for studies. So what's
Yeah.
wrong with them? But it was really weird for them to, for supposing a girl to go abroad for studies. Uh,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, I think, and I've not experienced gender inequality in my city, especially. I've never experienced much cities in my career, but in Karachi, I've always got similar opportunities for both males and females, rather in any sector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree because it varies from city to city and area to area where you are belonging to. So I think that's fair enough. So now, thanks, Rabia. So exactly what I was asking now, do you think that Pakistani women have been taught life skills within Pakistan or outside Pakistan? That would be our last question, which I would be asking from starting with Rida.
Ciao. Yeah.
Ciao.
Okay. So, what was the question again?
The
About
question is,
Pakistani
what do you
women
think
within
that
Pakistan
Pakistani?
or outside?
Pakistani women have been taught the life skills. What do you think? Those are the soft skills within Pakistan or
Oh,
outside
soft skills.
Pakistan?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
right. Okay, so there's two things. There's life skills and there's soft skills. So I think
both
that
of them. You can
Pakistani women
mention
need to
both of
learn
them.
both. Yeah, so they definitely need to learn both of them. Life skills are things like emotional intelligence, things like being able to handle yourself financially, things like
Yeah.
safety. You know, a lot of Pakistani girls don't know how to take care of their safety just like outside Pakistan, and I mean cyber safety. I mean, those kind of skills that you really need to. I still don't get why so many Pakistani girls. First of all, I don't know if it's girls. It could be a Pakistani guy pretending to be a girl on Facebook, and then or a Pakistani girl pretending to be a Maulvi on Facebook. It's very confusing for me. Like I can never tell which requests to confirm, and that's very bad because employers actually look at your Facebook and LinkedIn profile before they offer you a job. So what I've noticed is there's a lot of over meme sharing. Recently we had to report a Pakistani student to Australian police because he said something very what is considered hate speech to the Pakistani minorities and other minorities in Australia. So these kind of things can happen, so one should be very careful on social media. And soft skills are all about managing your profile, managing your brand, managing who you are as an where you stay true to your culture, your tribe, your religion, but you also have to be mindful of the other communities and multicultural communities in your around you, whether you are in Italy or Spain or Pakistan or Australia. So these soft skills and life skills are extremely important. I think I have a whole list of soft skills like conflict management, risk management. I don't know, there's so
Yeah.
many of them. But one thing for sure is that there is a lot of workshops being happening in Pakistan for young people, where they're basically copy pasting the same skills that you can actually learn online. And
Yeah.
can I just be very honest? You cannot learn soft skills online. There's something you have to learn by your work and by
With
leadership
experience.
on
With
your
experience, I do agree. Yeah.
yeah, like you can't do a leadership course and be like, okay, today I've done my leadership course, now I'm a leader. No, it doesn't
No,
work like
never,
that.
never.
It's
No.
it's like exactly, it's like with business. You can't learn about business without running a business. You can't learn a bicycle without actually riding a bicycle. You can bicycle, you can read about the different types of bicycles, but its theory is not practical. You need to
This is
be
the way
out
you are
there
going, like,
doing the job.
yeah.
Exactly.
This is the way you grow from the down and then go up. It's not like, okay, you do the one course and you are expert in that. No, you are not expert. Even after 2 years, you cannot say yourself that you are an expert. Maybe after some years, maybe 5 years, 4 years, then you go like from junior position to the senior position, then from senior to the manager. So that matters with the skills also. You are what skills you are learning through. So I completely agree with you, Rida. Thanks a lot. And then
Yeah,
we
so
have,
so don't yeah, so
yeah,
don't be sorry, I was just going to say that don't be afraid of making mistakes. As young people, you will
yeah.
always make mistakes. There is no shame in that. It's good that you're making mistakes. That means you can learn from them.
At least with the mistakes you are learning, that will make you more stronger even ahead. So you need to be focused on what you are
That's right.
learning and what you have learned from that, what you have done the mistakes and what you have learned from that. So that's really matters a lot. And nobody is perfect, nobody is 100% perfect. Everyone do mistake, and with mistake they learn and they grow. Thanks a lot, Rida, for your time. And now let's move to Falak to hear her point of view about these life skills and the soft skills which the person is learning within Pakistan or outside, what you have learned.
Yeah, so about the skills, that's one thing that is we are deprived of. Being a woman, like I feel that this is one thing that we don't get taught by our parents because they think that our brothers or the men in the family will take care of those things. Actually, it should be a two-way thing that should
Yeah.
not be anybody's responsibility. So if my fan is not working, I should know how to do with it, how to get done with that. So if there's a financial matter that's happening in the family, I should also be part of that. But apparently in Pakistan, it's a dilemma that those skills are not taught to girl child at a very early age, and the male child, it's actually their drawback that they have to learn it, because they think that our parents or our older generations think that it's a man's responsibility, and it's not a woman that she would take the family and drive the car, because they think it's first the boy who will take that, who will learn the
Yeah.
driving first before the girl. That's one of the example. Another I would say is that many women in Pakistan don't have their bank accounts. They don't know anything about finance. They don't know that uh, how to go about it. So that's
That's
another thing
quite
that
big.
those skills are not imparted in women. So yeah, there is a lag in that sector that actually comes from the parent side, from the generation who thinks that women are any less than boys and they cannot do things. So when like Rabia and Komal, they have become engineers like you. So obviously we can do anything that comes in the house. So we also deserve to learn those skills and to apply them. As far as the other, so then like there is another skill at responsibility. That's one another skill of soft skill, right? But that skill is more onto a woman, that she's responsible for everything goes in the house, except for that only men will do. So we have actually divided the work. Okay, this is for men, this is for women, and this is only gonna be done by a man. But
No,
actually,
but
so
this is really wrong. This is really wrong, which I don't even, feel comfortable that, okay, women cannot drive car. It's
you understand
pity.
where I'm coming from, right? So we have divided the works. So it's if it takes strength, so that's only a men thing. But if it's an emotional thing, so men will not do that. So if it's growing your children, nurturing them, giving them food or cooking, that's a woman thing. So we have divided those skills as per choice of the other gender. So yeah, there's a lack of that skills learning for women.
No, okay. Thanks a lot, Falak. I do agree with you, and we should focus on that thing. That it should not be only, men or only women, but every work can be done, both of them. If there is no, difference in the gender equality, we should not do it. So now let's move to Komal to hear her point of view.
Yes, they have addressed these points really well, Falak and Rida. I would just add my experience, what I have experienced in during my throughout my journey. That in Pakistan, if you are a working lady, you have a lot of opportunities to do the things, and you learn a lot. For example, how you manage to go by yourself to other city or other place, and how you deal with other different people from different environment. So you build those skills. uh, as far as soft skills are concerned, we should have this counseling at every university, every school. The teachers, they should counsel the students, and they should actually, if they can't teach, they can at least advise them, or give them direction to go to study something, or to have to build these skills. For example, we have different online sources for building different for example, if I am in another field, for example in business field, I must have some essential programming skills also. So
Yeah.
you should learn that. And for me, I am from a digital field. So I would really encourage the girls, Pakistan especially, to start by themselves, to learn these skills. For example, learning the programming, how to make the integration of the apps, how for example, when I came abroad, I had no idea of how to manage everything. For example, using there for in abroad, you have like multiple applications to deal with. When you
Yeah.
come abroad, you will have a lot of things to learn. So
Mhm.
you know how to make your online you can book a flight, how to do it, how you can buy the tickets, how you can go to how you can make an order for something. I mean, you can do a lot of things online. When you are abroad, you need to build those skills, how to integrate the different applications to get your required task. So
Exactly.
I will I have learned those now I can manage. If I have to travel from one place to another, I know that I have to get this bus from here, and it will go there, and I have all that information through my app. So
Exactly. Yeah.
I have those skills. First, when I came abroad, obviously other people helped me. They told me you need to go there and this. But if you develop those skills already in yourself, like especially you know how to research well. So your research skills, these are the very essential skills everybody should know. That everything is online. Just the thing is that you should target it well. If you are going abroad, you should know before that, okay, if I have to go there, what are the essential things I have to prepare myself, so I'll not face any difficulty to reach there. Or especially making the networking, your networking should be strong. So
Yeah,
there,
it works a lot.
yes, you should know these skills, especially how to connect to people, how to make networking, how to get the useful information from the internet, how to deal with it. And later on, because I told you that I'm from the digital field, I will force actually the girls to please participate in the computing field. We really need these resources, and in the coming days, as we all know that this COVID-19 has pushed us to the screens. We are all the time on the screens. Everything is online. So
Now everything can be done. Yoga classes, everything is online. So now people realize actually what's the worth of computer science and what's the worth
exactly.
of being online. It's really important. The field is booming a lot, and I know that every field of computer science has a good scope in future as well.
So I'm not saying that go and do degree in that. You have a lot of
But at least
online
must have the skills. You must have the
essential
skills.
skills. Yes, yes.
Degree, we cannot force anyone to go into computer science if they don't have any
No, no,
interest in
no,
that.
no, not at all, not at all.
Yeah, so I completely agree with you, and I think our focus should be on this. And now everything is online, so we can also, YouTube. There are many other channels and other courses we can do online to understand how to utilize those tools and softwares. Thanks a lot, Komal. Now let's move to Rabia to
Yes.
hear her point of view on this in order to
Uh,
conclude this session. Yeah.
According to me, life skill is such a vast domain. You can get life skills not from academics, but you can gain it from your experience, your personal experience, basically. Before coming to abroad, I was a highly disorganized person and was really impatient with the things and with the stuff. But after living independently alone, I learned how to be patient, how to be a good self manager. Basically, I come to know that how to be patient in many situations. I have learned risk management by my own. That if I'm living alone, so if something bad happens or mishap happen, how I will deal with it. So these are the things that I learned during this my journey. But still, I would say that in Pakistan there is not emphasize on uh, learning life skills. uh, Actually, many people, many females specifically, don't know about these skills and how important those are. So we need to make some programs like that in our universities and our colleges to make them familiar with these kinds of skills, and these are really important for living, for not only learning, but it's also for your life and for your experience and your also these skills would be needed after marriage.
Yeah,
uh,
exactly.
and I will also encourage women and specifically girls to know about technical skills. as technical skills are core for these days. As we all know that this is an era of artificial intelligence and computing. So girls must involve in such activities, such technical skills, so that they can make some difference in this field too.
Yeah, it's really important. Every field is growing, so we must have, clear idea about all of those aspects.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, so now thank you so much, Rabia. Thanks a lot for your presence and answering these queries. Okay, so now thank you so much, everyone, and I would like to thank Pakistan Student Association Italia for their work and efforts and for their continuous struggle of bringing people everywhere here. Actually, they bring all people on this platform, motivated women and everyone, to let our youth also understand that what we are doing here for them, and we being, Pakistani women, how we saw the struggles, how we faced those hurdles, hardships, and where we are now. So this is really very important for now this is really very important for everyone. So I would like to thank you everyone for the presence, Rida, Komal, Rabia, Falak, and thanks a lot also Pakistan Student Association Talia, who supported and who gave us this opportunity, this platform to bring ourselves live to be heard throughout the world. I would like you to please share your feedback about the session in Pakistan Zindabad, Khuda Hafiz.
Thank you, Tabinda, for bringing us together on this platform. It was really nice talking to you and interacting with all these lovely and successful women. And hope more success to all of you. And hope that we all stay connected like this. All the women around the world, all the Pakistani women, and keep motivating others and keep appreciating others as well.
Thank you to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to talk on such nice topics. We really need this awareness, and we need to keep motivating our youth and telling them the required things, which is pushing them to participate in the field. And as with this, I also want to request those parents, please don't restrict your daughters to do anything. Just be supportive and let them know that they're worth it. So thank you for listening, and I hope we can shape the better future.
Thanks, Komal. This is a really good message for our youth as well.
Thank you.
Now, what's your feedback, Rida?
I thought Rabia had to go still. Does Rabia still have to go?
Yes, I have not shared mine. Okay, let me do first. First of all, thank you, PSA Italia, for inviting us, and it's really a good experience with talking to all of you guys. I would like to give a message to Pakistani community, especially families, that if you educate a man, you are educating an individual. But if you educate a woman, you are educating generations. So keep educating your girls and motivate them to achieve their career goals. That's it. Thank you.
That's really a very nice message. Thanks, Rabia. Now, Rida, it's your turn, finally.
Yay, yes, me last. Yes, so thank you so much for inviting me, especially considering I have already eaten my iftari. So I was really pumped for the session. That's great timing, guys. Secondly, dude, life is hard for lots of different women, particularly in Pakistan. My suggestion is that we talk about barriers, the things like harassment, things like, relationship issues, how we're actually going to overcome them, because I think we focus too much on the problems and less on the solutions. So better do that. And my last and third suggestion would be that we should actually create like an overseas Pakistani woman network group, something where we can actually interact with each other and actually support each other in our careers and share opportunities. Because like I keep saying, women need to support other women. Look at the unity men have. Like look at how Pakistani Student Association of Australia or of Italy are run by all these boys. I mean, like, they're not even half as good looking as us, but they do such great jobs. So I think that we should at least try to,
That's
we
a
should at
direct
least,
insult.
try and, support,
Direct
Agreed,
insult,
agreed.
honestly.
I mean, but like, seriously, like, part of the reason people are watching this video is because we are good looking. Like, we are nice to look at.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, we should make use of that, so yeah, like, on that note, that's my feedback, that's my final comments. Lovely to meet you all.
Yeah, that's the thing
Same
which I
here.
wanted to say. At least we must support each other, because it's not we are supporting each other, but it's what we are bringing our country into, prosperity. Exactly. If we support each other, they will, even to me, honestly, I will feel good if I see other women also from my country, Pakistan, if I can support her as much as I can. And tomorrow, if I see her at the good position like me, so of course, that's a, blessing for our country as well. So that's a really good point. So, anyways, it was really a good session, and I hope I will see you in the next sessions as well. And good luck in your career journey, and I hope you do great. Stay safe and healthy in this pandemic situation, and have a good Ramadan. See you guys then in the next session. Okay?
Okay.
Khuda Hafiz.
Okay.
Khuda-
Allah
Khuda
Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz.
See you.
See you. Bye. Bye bye.
Bye.